fish around the country, and I learned to play by listening to them because they have very intricate music, and I would have like an earphone on one ear and one ear open, and I would do like fucking tons of LSD and sit in the corner at my friend's house, and I learned to play all their songs note by note, like literally like note by note.
Right.
And I've forgotten all that, and it really is frustrating. I mean, I remember how to play it, but my fingers aren't there yet.
Right. Your fingers remember what you're supposed to do, but they're not quite as quick or as limber as
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that sometimes.
So I took the test, and
All compressors, the Ross compressor. This thing cost me like $500.
well,
Because Trey uses it.
so it said for NE, I got 51.2. So apparently that's really high. I don't know. It says excellent use. TI, I got 45.2. And then it says my FI is 29.6. I don't know how it's that high, but it's like that's third.
Well, tests ask questions like, do you have an internally consistent thing you weigh things against, which could be either TI or FI. I think a lot of because I've observed that in a lot of tests.
Yeah, and I think it was that, and I think because
they overlap the results a lot.
Right. Yeah. And when I ask stuff like that, I'm thinking of my religion too. So I'm thinking like, well, yeah, I weigh against principles and stuff, but I don't think I really do that from an FI point of view. It's more TI or something like that.
That's
Yeah.
is that the one you have? Audra, is that the guitar that you have?
It could be.
Yeah.
So you have a P90 and a humbucker.
It's got pretty much and it's got an emulation engine built in.
Damn.
And you can make it sound like, and it's chambered, and it's got a piezo too. Like that's one of the because I end up playing a lot of rhythm guitar.
I play.
It's got a piezo and a chambered body, so it actually you can make it sound pretty good for rhythm, and you can almost make it sound acoustic if you want.
Wow. Or is your humbucker? Does it have I don't want to say distortion, but does it have overdrive built into it?
I don't remember if it's got. Probably it'll do a little bit of stuff built in. I honestly haven't played with the onboard features as much as I should have. I just get entertained by the it tunes itself and then you play around.
And
I've done a couple of emulation settings, but
I'm definitely
honestly don't play it as much as I at home. I just play my studio a lot, and that one I break out when I've got to stand up in a band and have it on my shoulder for a while, or
that's a nice
whatever.
Guitar.
Yeah,
but
it was a moment of occasionally I get things that I want. I blame it on my Type A. It's occasionally it's you know what. That's what I want, and so that's what I'm getting myself, and so I do. And that was one of those instances.
Running an overdrive pedal into a compressor into your amp can give you. I try to steal Trey Anastasio's tone from Fish and Brian May's tone from Queen and Mark Knopfler's tone from Mark Knopfler.
Mark Knopfler. I mean.
Dire Straits.
Enough said.
Yeah. The mid range. Also David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. Mid range.
I've got a digital effects processor that I use sometimes when I want something really severe. But honestly, one of my favorite sounds is just through a good tube amp.
Yeah, this is
Paul for a good tube amp is pretty sweet.
This baby's a good tube amp.
But going off that note too, like when I see something that's wrong, I don't feel much from it. I'm just kind of like, well, that's wrong, you know? So, yeah, before that, I was having like, like personally, I was having like dreams and like premonitions of the future, and that was something that was like, well, that's weird. Um, and things I was shown. Um, I don't ever like really talk about this, but like my ex girlfriend that I was talking about, I knew her name before I met her, and I knew what she looked like. And when I met her at church, like I walked up to her and I'm like, introduced myself, and I said, "You're so and so," and she's like, "How'd you know that?" Kind of thing. And that whole day, I dreamt about, and it was exactly the same. Or when I flipped my car and totaled it, like I dreamt exactly where I crashed and me flipping in the car and everything. Like the dream happens over and over and over again repetitively, and then those are the ones that come true.
Can't you avoid the things happening if you realize that you're dreaming it over and over again?
No,
that's
not at all.
It's
God's humor is the way that I put it. I think it's just God saying, "Haha, I'm stronger than you. I know more than you, and you're a human."
I've attempted, and I don't know if it's real or not or whatever, but I have attempted to make people dream about me, and it has worked. I don't know.
Yeah, I think dreams are weird.
If real or if it's a coincidence, but it has happened before. That I can't deny, and I can't explain it, and it fucks with my head because of the way I am. And
yeah, that's why I don't like talking about it, because it's screwy. It's just really weird. So I don't do that.
You get the deja vu.
I always believed in God. I believed in an impersonal God.
I believe deja vu is when you have sensory input that goes into your long-term memory first before it gets to your short-term memory. It's a fucking.
Well, it's like dream deja vu. Like it doesn't happen much. Like just talking about this, like it reminds me because I forget. But it's like there'll be a place that I've never been before, and it'll be like, I saw this.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I've totally.
Like I've never been here or seen this for sure, and it's like, but I remember dreaming this place.
But I believe that there's an internal glitch in our brain that takes in incoming stimuli and sends it to our long-term memory, like
and it could be
a nanosecond before it gets to our short-term memory.
I agree with you. And I go back to there's multiple explanations for things there. It could be both.
Yeah, my personal theory, if you really want to know, so is basically the idea that, because I mean multiple dimension physics makes a lot of sense.
I'm really upset that I'm the only person.
Basically, my idea is that the human brain is the organic equivalent of probably like a wormhole, like a transdimensional like connection machine. And I think that our minds are actually partially probably exist in a dimensional space that is not what we typically perceive.
Okay.
Right. And I think that our minds probably touch parts of the dimension that we can't actually understand. And I think that's why sometimes like we get things that we don't know how we got. It's like we know things that we know. Right. It's not constrained by the four dimensions that we physically exist in. It's somehow, and I mean that makes perfect sense. If it's an extra dimension, then it can touch part. It's not constrained in the same way. So, yeah, I don't know. I was hashing that out with my sister the other day. And I was like, I kind of got it all detailed out. I'm like, this is what it seems to me like. I'm like, she's like, that makes sense. I'm like, glad that you like that theory because what I've arrived at. I've spent lots of time thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
So there was that aspect, but I mean, really, there's this group on campus that's intellectual, and they're intellectual Christians, right? So they're they back up everything with logic. Like they arrive to things through
always
logic.
so nice groups like that.
And so that's cool, and they helped me in like a lot of the questions I had and answered the questions that I had. And, that's how I got there to be a Christian was through them, and like those weird episodes and experiences that I had before that. And I was never an atheist. I always believed in God. I just thought he was impersonal. Because that made sense. I think that makes the most sense. Or I thought that made the most sense at that time. So yeah, I mean that I don't know if that answers your question or whatever, but I don't think it was through FI or anything like that. Or I needed. I don't know.
I was just my kind of the way I came back around to concentrating on it because I kind of have been through different stages, but was actually like through my study of physics and just general search for figuring out how things work together. And eventually that made sense. Like the creation aspect, like it makes sense to me. And it honestly makes a lot of sense. And then I actually tied it back to studying like narratives and just general creation of stuff. And I don't know. It was
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was FI.
Right. I'm in that boat too. But anyway, it says it's at 29.6, and then the next one after that is NI at 27.6. No. Yeah, 29. FI is 29.6. NI is 27.6. And then TE is at 26.4. And my SI says 17.5. My SE is at 16.6. Yeah, my SE is the worst. Pretty good.
I always get really good NI, and I don't usually. Yeah, it actually sounds a lot like how the ordering.
Yeah,
Of
I took a test like
what
this. My NI was pretty good.
It's always like NE and TI are usually like practically tied, and it's usually like NI and TE next, and then the bottom four they mix up. Usually feelings are last. SI and FI are usually last.
Mm-hmm. According to this thing, it says it thinks I'm an ENTP, but
that's what I
thought
took.
it
Told
was
me
an
inconclusive. It said it said inconclusive. I was like,
I'm gonna go back to the other one.
an INTP. Like before I was on
I was
here.
just checking to see if I knew it was in there.
I thought it was for a long time.
Like, Eric would ask FE versus SI questions. I'd rather do FE stuff than SI stuff, for sure. Mm-hmm. And I'm not shy. Like I'll introduce myself to people and talk to random people, and like I don't think an INTP would do something like that.
I'm more shy around people I know than around strangers. I I think because strangers are